So that is one of my deepest soul's gifts into the world right now, is to support the Blue Diamond souls, to have their voice be heard, further. And through that, I support other women in activating their womb, in starting to follow their own path of their soul. I apprentice beautifully divine, amazing women into finding what is their soul's calling, what is their awakening. How do we support the change that is coming? How do we support the change that we're in? And so who am I? Who is Zephyria Bell? I'm a woman who is showing up for my soul's calling. I am a woman who is stepping into the fear over and over and over again. Every day when I wake up, it's stepping through the fear of what it is to truly be me, of what it is to truly be connected to my soul, this very intense energy that I feel, like this burning, incredible energy that moves through me. Hello and welcome back. My name is Zephyria Bell. I am the voice of the Blue Diamond Souls, and it is my absolute honor to bring this episode to you, where we're going to speak about pregnancy and birth. And of course, anything else that the Blue Diamond Souls choose that they would like to bring into this episode, any other messages that they feel that they have to bring through. But we really want to be focusing here on pregnancy and how do we bring the Blue Diamond Souls into the world. The way they're asking to be held in the womb, and also the way they're asking to be birthed, is very different. So you can see I've chosen a spot here surrounded by water, the waters of the womb, to bring the inspiration of this episode to you. So perhaps you're already pregnant, perhaps you're wanting to conceive, maybe you know someone in your world who is pregnant, and maybe not. Maybe you're literally just really interested in following the path of what do these Blue Diamond souls need in order to come here. You may also be a birth worker. There are many birth workers who are starting to follow this path of understanding who the Blue Diamond souls are, of what it is that they require, and also of understanding the womb gates and how the gates of the womb support during birthing. So it doesn't matter where you are on that spectrum. Let's drop in first to pregnancy. So within the womb is held, obviously, the physical aspect of a child, where it started as an egg and a sperm that met at that moment of conception. And for our womb to be able to truly hold a loving and nurturing home, a nurturing space for a high vibrational being, we need to keep the vibration of the womb as high as possible. We need to understand that not only are you creating this space for the physical aspect of this child that you are bringing through, but also by them creating their physical body, they're creating the home for their soul. They're creating the home for the part of them that is really here to make shift and change in the world. So us giving them the most appropriate start that we can with the healthiest body that we can is really important. And the way we do that is really by stepping into the sacredness that is pregnancy. Really creating a space for the mother who's holding this child in her womb to be able to journey also into her own process. Every woman that I know so far that has conceived a Blue Diamond soul that is carrying a high vibrational being within their womb has had a very profound transformation, a very profound initiation during the time that they are pregnant. And so yes, we always treat pregnant women with the utmost respect. We take care of them. This is quite natural for us as humans, even as all animals. But when it comes to these high vibrational beings, they're requiring the next level. And so that is to be creating sacred space for them within the womb, so therefore creating a high vibrational frequency within the womb to hold an activated space within the womb, which I've already shared with you in the conception process. However, I'll speak again here in that there is the physical womb and there is also the activated energetic aspect of your womb. So you have the physical, then you have an energetic or an etheric, the same as you have a physical body, and then you also have an energetic or an etheric body, the aura that we can see. It's exactly the same within the womb. So we want to be able to provide support for the energetic aspect of the womb to be activated, to be in its highest frequency, for it to be energetically clean, I guess you could say, the same as you would take care of your own energy body in whatever processes it is that you use. Maybe you use sage, Palo Santo, maybe you do chakra clearing for yourself, maybe you do Reiki, maybe you do different aspects of energy clearing. When a woman is pregnant, we want to be focusing that clearing and those processes on the womb to support her to hold that frequency within her womb so she can continue to hold the pregnancy full term, which obviously is what we're wanting. And so one of the other things that they're really requiring is a safe space. Now, what do I mean by a safe space? Yes, within the womb is safe. They're held, they're nurtured, they have all the nutrients that they need. They're held within the beautiful waters of the womb. But also they're starting to experience the external reality through the mother. So what we want to do is provide a space for the mother to feel safe as much as possible. Now, we live in a world where there are all different realities that are happening. So, all sorts of stuff could happen during pregnancy, moments of fear, moments of stress, all sorts of stuff comes up. But what we want to do throughout that is to continue to bring the mother back to a space of feeling safe, of feeling held. Because if you look at the fact that the womb is the vessel that the baby is in, the body of the mother is the vessel that the womb is within, and so they're starting to learn their experience of life. You may also find that pregnant women with high vibrational beings, not only are they going through their own deep initiation process, but also they become more sensitive, possibly, not all, but some of them become more sensitive to light, more sensitive to sound, more sensitive to frequency around them, more sensitive to if there are too many people in a space with them, too much noise. What is happening is the baby is actually working through the mother to start to learn and experience what its environment is like. Now, if you think about the fact that these are high vibrational beings coming into a denser, I don't want to say necessarily, but it is a lower vibrational frequency that we live in than what they have been holding. They need to start to get used to what is it like to change from, like I said, some of these are at least 6th dimension minimum, most a 12th to 27th dimension. If you think about dropping from such a high dimension down into what it is that we hold in a physical body, it's a lot for the soul to start to get used to. And so actually the mother's body could also be starting to experience these sensitivities, these shifts, these changes that might be happening for her. So the best that we can to provide her an absolute safe environment, to understand that she is going through a deep initiation, and that could look different for everyone. Perhaps her channel is starting to open. Perhaps she is starting to become psychic where she wasn't before. Perhaps she is just starting to know things that she didn't know before. But basically her experience of life is changing. And so as a mother who is holding one of these babies, be gentle with yourself. As much as possible, hold sacred space for your own body. be aware, which all pregnant women are, but be aware of what it is that you're putting into your body. What it is that you're eating, what it is that you're drinking, what spaces it is that you are in, what your emotional state is like, what your own energetic state is like, and just really taking extra care of yourself and realizing this is the most sacred time for this soul that is coming through your body as a portal into this life. Think of the greatness of being a soul, suddenly being connected into a womb and a body that is creating, and then coming through the birthing canal into the world. I often explain birth to be very similar to the death experience. So, we hear about death and they speak about the tunnel. They speak about they were in a dark tunnel and there was a light at the end of the tunnel. Think about the birth canal, the cervix. This baby has been all snuggled up in the water and suddenly they're coming down a canal that has a light at the end of the tunnel, is actually birthing our soul here into human form, one aspect of death, as we start to lose our connection to the greatness of everything that is and birth into this reality that we are here in these funny human flesh bags that we are in, instead of being our soul. So it's one and the same. So starting to understand that as a baby is coming through this birth canal, they don't know where they're going. They don't know what this experience is. They're coming through this dark tunnel. There's a light at the end. What's that light at the end? We don't know. And we're going to pop out and there's everybody possibly staring at us. And so this is where we start to come into birth. And I want to pause here for a moment and just actually honor the true depth of what it is to birth a human form out of a woman's body. The experience that mother and child are having, the initiation, the initiation that they are having together. There is a different way of birthing than what we have been taught or shown before. I think back to, for me, when I was born, it was hospital, bright lights shining, and onto a metal table as soon as you came out and into the hands of somebody who I didn't know, my parents didn't know, nobody else knew, and somebody who really wasn't seeing my birth as being sacred. Just kind of, it's another day at the office, birth this baby and put it over there and slap it on the back and wrap it up in something and give it to mum. Or in my case, actually taken away from my mom for a while. It's a pretty traumatic experience. But what we're starting to see, and we have been seeing for a while now, is this shift into a more sacred birth, is this shift into birthing in water, is this shift into being in the pool, of being with beautiful music, of having loving people surrounding, of having either the mother or one of the brothers or sisters or the father or someone who is sacred to the family to be the first person who touches that child. We're starting to see that shift. But what's important is we need to step further into that shift. We need to step further into the sacredness of birth, away from, now I'm not going to say away from the hospital experience, that's not what I'm saying here. But what I'm saying is away from the old way of doing things in the hospital experience. You still may choose to birth in a hospital 100%. Everybody has their own right to choose where is right for them to birth. Just because it's a high vibrational baby does not mean it has to be all roses and in a bath of water and the sacred, music playing, because that's not reality for everybody. It's just something I want to speak to. Women who are preparing to birth, have your birth plan. 100% have your birth plan. And it's okay if it all messes up and it doesn't look the way you planned at all and it's the opposite to what you were expecting. None of that actually matters. What really does matter is that you're holding a sense of sacredness. That yourself, your birthing team, are holding a sense of sacredness. Your doula, if you have one, your sacred midwife, if you have one, has some understanding. And the next aspect I want to speak to you about here is how they're requesting to be birthed through the womb gates and sung in, to have their soul sung in. So what do I mean by that? Before I share, I'm just choosing to drop into my own body and really drop into the sacredness of what it is to work with the womb gates. There are 7 gates of the womb. We use them for conception. We also use them for birth. So when we use the gates of the womb for birth, there is this understanding that you're not only birthing the physical aspect, you are birthing the soul. Our deepest desire is to bring the soul in with the body. And so one of the ways that we do that is first start to open the womb gates. When you start to come into labor, start to tune into the 7th gate of the womb is the cosmic womb, the place of pure potentiality, the place where before this soul even knew it was coming to you, to conceive to you, that's the place where this soul was, where there is everything, where there is nothing. And then at the moment that you conceived, that soul came down into the 6th gate, into creation point, the home of the soul. At that moment you had conceived, and the soul was now committed to coming through you, to being in your womb. Then we come down to the 5th gate, which is the womb. So actually when we start to go into labor, the ability, and you will notice for a lot of women actually, they naturally go into an altered state of reality. A lot of women go into an altered state of reality. This is them naturally starting to connect in to the 7th and to the 6th gate. They're already starting to be in this alternate reality, be connected to something beyond themselves. You can see it with a woman who is able to go into a space of natural birthing. She will be, it's almost hypnotic. So that is her connecting into the 7th gate, connecting into the 6th gate, coming down and connecting into the womb. So we're wanting to come through the 6th gate and start to surrender. We need to start to surrender that this body is about to open. This body needs to open to allow this little human to come through. When you think about how profound that is, then we start to come into the womb and we want to really tune into the womb. Any woman who is in labor is going to be very tuned into the womb, obviously, with her contractions, and she's feeling the intensity. And this is her really having all of her attention brought into her womb space. There is now like nothing else exists in this world except for her, her baby, and what is happening in her womb. Next, we need to start to work with the cervix. Now, the cervix obviously naturally starts to open, but if we can actually start to bring the attention down into the cervix, start to breathe into the cervix, one of the keys of the cervix actually is innocence. To start to tune into this baby and its innocence as it comes into this world. So we're breathing into the cervix and starting to bring the attention. And then we want to start to actually, this is going to confuse you a little bit, but we want to start to bring the attention to the clitoris. Why? because actually that's the next gate of the womb. And so this may seem unusual, but actually what's possible for women is to start to work with ecstatic birth. This is something that we haven't been taught. This is something that hasn't been shared with us. We've been told all childbirth is painful, yet if we can start to bring the body into a state of ecstasy and to have an ecstatic birth, we are gifting this soul the ability to connect more into the body. Ecstasy and the energy of all our cells vibrating together is what brings the soul into our body. So we start to bring our attention to the third gate, to the clitoris. We start to be in awe and devotion and reverence of what it is to truly connect into our pleasure. And so then when we're starting to connect into our pleasure and to activate the ecstasy within your own body, even in this place where you are birthing, and yet you can bring your body into a state of ecstasy, then we start to bring the attention to the second gate, the G spot, the gratitude spot, the place of the sacred waters. This is where the feminine opens. She opens to the sacredness of all that she is. She opens to the realization that she is everything. She is water in its stillness, in its wildness. She is the calm, crystal clear lake, sometimes the icy lake, and she is also the tsunami. So at this place we start to tune into the gratitude of what it is to be in the birthing process, of what it is to be bringing this child into the world. And they will feel it. They will feel your gratitude. They will know it. They will understand it. And they will come through receiving that transmission. And then we come to the first gate of the womb, the yoni lips, which is obviously where the beautiful head of this baby needs to come through. And this is the place where you tune into trust. Trusting your own body. Trusting the ability that your body already knows how to birth. That your body knows what it's doing. And trusting that this beautiful baby that is making its way through all the womb gates is coming out exactly as it has asked to. No matter what this birth looks like, no matter whether it looks like your absolute dream birth or whether it is absolute chaos, that trusting that it is the perfect birth experience for this child and for this soul to be coming into the world right now. The other thing I would like you to start to consider, and that the Blue Diamond souls have really such an important piece for them, is who's going to be the first person to touch this baby? Who is going to be the first person that this baby receives the imprint from? Whose hands? And when those hands touch this baby, what state is that person in? Is this person able to hold love, to hold trust, to hold care, to hold nurture, to hold gratitude, to hold excitement, whatever it is that's coming through them? Can they hold the sacredness of what it is to be the very first person to touch this human? We never used to see this as sacred. This used to just be the role of the doctor, grab the head, pull it out. And my experience not being placed on the mother for a long time. But what they're asking for is genuinely to put sacredness into who is touching them first. And what that really means for that person, and what is that person's role in this child's life. Do they hold an important and sacred role? Be it just for this moment. Maybe it's literally your birth worker, your doula, the person that you've journeyed with for the 9 months of this pregnancy, the person who's been there through however many hours of the labor that it is that you've been in. But what is their role? And are they able to see this child as sacred? So I want to speak to you about singing in the soul. Singing in the soul, the blue diamond souls are asking to be sung in. What does that mean? It might look different for everybody. For me, with a number of my clients, I sing the soul in for them from long distance. I may be here in Bali and they're in a completely different country and they're sending me a little message that says, I'm in labor and I know it's time. I know it's time to tune into that soul and to sing them. And every single time that I've sung them, their melody is different. Their voice is different. What they're wanting is different. But what they're asking for is it guides their soul. It's guiding their soul into their body. So trusting whatever song comes through for you. It may be that the mother is singing and it's probably going to be horrendously out of tune because she's singing with all of the contractions that are coming through, and it doesn't matter. Maybe she's just humming. That is perfect. Maybe you have someone in your space who is singing for you. I know people who are creating the space with having their friends there and they're singing and drumming. But the intention that you're holding as you're singing this soul is you're letting them know where to come. You're letting them know now is the time to bring all of you into this body. You see, many of us were born with our soul not fully here, partially here, but not fully here for various reasons. And what we want with these blue diamond souls is for them to fully be able to bring their soul in, to know that it is fully safe to do so. And so whatever that means for you, maybe it's reaching out to myself and asking me to sing the soul in for you. Maybe it's having your friends and family around you and singing. Maybe it's the mother and you're singing whatever is coming out. Maybe your song is a howl. Whatever it is perfect. You're just holding this intention. But with my song, with this song, this soul is coming into this baby that's being born right now. So I'd love to just tune in to the blue diamond souls now and see beyond me what it is that they have to say, what it is that they would like to bring here to you. So I'm going to close my eyes, I'm going to drop in, I'm going to tune in, and I'm going to give them my body, I'm going to give them the space, I'm going to give them my voice to be able to speak to you and bring through the message that they need you to hear. So there is something important that we wish to impart to you at this time. There is an important message that we wish to bring through to you around what it is to truly hold us within the womb, what it is to truly be guardian to us, what it is to hold us within a safe space of your own womb space, of your own sacred waters, and what it is that we ask of, what it is that we require in this space. We have chosen you and you have chosen us. We wish for you to remember that at all times, if we have chosen to come through you, it is a sacred path that we are following together. When we step into this agreement, when we agree to this contractual agreement that we will be together in this lifetime, that you will in fact hold us within your womb in this lifetime, as you probably have before. When we come into this agreement, when we come into this contractual space with you, the moment that you conceive us, the absolute moment that you conceive us, this is when the initiation period starts. We wish for you to understand that for many women, when we come into your womb, it is a deep transformational experience. It is something beyond what you would ever expect. It is something beyond any other pregnancy than you may have experienced. It is something beyond what any other mother may have told you. We wish for you to keep your mind open. We wish for you to understand that for you it will be different to anybody else. That for you, depending on which one of us is coming through, depending on which vibrational frequency it is that we are holding as we come to you, depending on whether we are sitting at 12th dimension or whether we are sitting at 27th dimension, will become a very different experience for you as you hold us within your womb. The most important thing we wish to tell you is that this is a beautiful and deep initiation process, and everything that comes through for you from the moment that you conceive us is part of this initiation process. Watch everything. Listen to everything. Every experience that you are having. Things that look different. Things that sound different. Things that taste different. Take note of all of it. You may wish to keep a birthing journal where in this space you are writing everything around the experience of what it is to hold us within your body, of what it is to be in this deep initiation process. Because this is only the beginning of the journey. From the moment you have conceived us is the moment of the beginning of a very long path that we will walk together. And the messages that you receive when you are in this deep space of transformation, when we are within your womb, these will provide to you the keys on what it is to be guardian to us. Because in fact, for each of us, it is very different. But throughout your pregnancy, we are providing you with constant keys, with constant information, with constant dialogue around who we are as this particular soul, how it is that we desire to be held within your womb, how it is that we desire to be birthed, and how it is that we desire for you to guardian us. All of these messages are coming through in the period of time that we are within your womb. So please, we ask you to listen closely. We ask you to step into sacredness. And each message that comes through, take it as sacred. The moments that you think are not important may in fact be the deepest key. The food that you put in your mouth that has a different flavor than what it had before, this will be a key for you on how it is that we will eat. So listen, the things that look different for you. Perhaps you start to now see the spirit world. Perhaps you start to see in different color. Perhaps now you start to see more in monotone, in black and white. Whatever it is for you, take note. If you start to see spirit world, take note of who it is that you see, what you hear. Listen and take note of what it is that you hear. For example, as I speak this, the human that I'm speaking through right now can hear the birds at the end of the day. And we're showing her and telling her that the birds are a message. You will receive the same messages. There the birds are. As soon as I say that the birds are a message and they leave another message, they sing another song. So whatever it is for you, it may be the sound of the ocean sounds different to normal. It may be one day something is different about what I hear. I am supposed to listen. Listen and sit with that. What you feel in your body, take note of it. Perhaps where you feel more pleasure, where you feel more discomfort, take note of that and keep it in your journal, because all of it is keys to what you need to know in order to be able to guardian us, because we are different. When we come through, we are different. This is not a normal parenting experience. You are our guardian, not our parent. But we are constantly giving you messages. Talk to us. We can hear you when we are in your womb. Before we are even conceived, we can hear you. Talk to us and listen for our answers. It may not come the same way that you expect, but we are answering you all the time. We are giving you everything that you need, every resource that you need to be able to hold us through this pregnancy, through this birth, and through our earlier years. We also ask you to step into the realization that you are in a deep, deep initiatory portal. Your life will change. You will receive messages to change aspects of your life. Take them on, listen to them. Perhaps you receive messages that it is time to move, that it is time to change jobs, that it is time to change the way your appearance is. Whatever it is, listen. Because these are all very important parts of your initiation, as we are starting already to teach you what it is to be our guardian. We are starting to already show you what the process is. When it comes to birthing, when it comes to birthing us, we wish to slow down. We wish to say to you that it is also time for you to slow down, to breathe, to be with your body, to be with every single moment, to be with your breath, to be with every sensation, to be with every thought, to be with every experience as you come into this birthing place with us. It is the most sacred experience of your life, and it is the most sacred experience of our life. So slow down, breathe. I wish to tell you that wherever possible, we wish to be born into water. Wherever possible, we wish for the space to be held to be sacred. Wherever possible, we wish for you to have your loved ones and your community with you. Wherever possible, we wish for you to sing to us, not only yourself, but also to your community and your loved ones, to sing to us, to be in celebration that this new life is coming forward. Not only a new life, but also a new life that is here to make change in the world. We wish to remind you that you are bringing in a sacred being of a higher dimension, and to create that space for us. Whew. I also wish to remind you that in fact the first 40 days after we are born, the first 40 days after we are born is the most sacred, is to consider who is in our space, is to consider who is touching us, who is touching our body, what frequency do they hold, what energy is this person in, what experience is this person in this moment, is to be aware. What imprints are we receiving into this body in the first 40 days? How can you create this space to be divinely sacred for us? How can you create ritual and ceremony from the moment that we are coming into this world for those 40 days? Perhaps for you it is to light a candle, and every single day for those 40 days you light a candle. Perhaps for you it is a specific scent of incense that you bring in. Perhaps for you it is a journal that everybody writes in. Every person who touches us in those 40 days writes within this journal a sentiment of love, a sentiment of support for what it is that we are bringing into the world, for our experience, for the way that we are going to shift humanity. Within those 40 days, to also be deeply considering our environment. What is the vibrational frequency of the space that we are in? What is the vibrational frequency of the bed that we are in, of the room that we are in, or in the space that we are in when we are leaving the home? What is the vibrational frequency of the place we are going to? What is the lighting like? What is the smells like on different people who are around us? And starting to realize that we are sensitive, and also understanding that for some of us, this experience of coming into human form is not comfortable. You think we have come from a being of light. We have come from being soul, pure soul. Most of us have not been here in physical form before. And so we are experiencing this physical body, this bag of flesh that you walk around in. We are experiencing this for the first time, and it may be greatly uncomfortable. You may find it difficult to settle us because we are in discomfort of what is this body that we are in. It feels constrictive. It feels constrictive. It smells. It has different bodily functions than what we are used to. And so please hold space of love for us through that. When you change our nappy, change it with love. When we're sick, give us love. For each experience, when we cry, tell us it's okay. I understand, it's okay. And continue to understand that for us, this is something new. For us, this is something different, but we have chosen you to come through for a reason. And we know that you are exactly the person to hold the space that we need held. So in the moments when you feel despair, in the moments when you feel I cannot do this, in the moments when you feel like this is too much, in the moments when you feel like maybe I'm not good enough, I'm not the one to hold this child, in those moments, we ask you to remember that we chose you. Oof. Wow. So it feels like that is all of the message from the Blue Diamond Souls for the moment, for this episode. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for being part of this experience. Thank you for being part of the journey of the Blue Diamond Souls. The fact that you are here, the fact that you are watching, the fact that you are listening to this means that you have a role with these high vibrational beings. You wouldn't be called to watch this otherwise. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you for being part of this journey. Thank you for being part of the awakening of humanity, of the awakening of this planet, of bringing through these high vibrational beings and providing a safe space for them to come. Thank you for joining me. My name is Zephyria Bell, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.